Oh man, it's that time. Let's do this. Let's get this thing rolling and move on here. And there we go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it might be in your part of the world.
Greetings, my excellent friend.
Yeah, it's so good to see you. My name is Jeff Fritz, and today is June 24th, 2025, and we're gonna write a little bit of code today. How you doing there, chat room? I already see a couple folks here hanging out. We're broadcasting live on Twitch and YouTube. Want to say hello to you out there who joined us so early here. Surly Dev, hello to you. I hope you're having a great afternoon there. C Sharp Titan, good evening to you in Melbourne, Australia. Yes, I am wearing my Loki election hat. It's kind of the quiet way that I voice my political view here. So, I don't want to go into that, but that's about all I'm going to leave it at. Mythin, how you doing there? Codebase Alpha, good afternoon to you in Birmingham in the UK. Billy Cool with a big wave. Wise Otter, thank you for the resub. 23 months with us. Much appreciate that support. Phil Vesey is here. Patty Boy with a big wave. Hello. That's right. Loki for president. Yes. I'm going to get some music playing in the background here. And then I want to introduce and tell you a little bit about the feature that I don't want to say finished, but that I coded over the weekend that I'm pretty happy with. I want to show it to you, and we'll dive in here a little bit. This is called Green Dinosaur. This is from the Stream Beats Synthwave playlist. You can see it right there. This is music that's DMCA free, royalty free. Listen to it wherever you'd like. Check it out. Streambeats.com. Big thanks to Harris Heller and his team of creators for this music we're listening to today. So I've been doing a lot of work trying to get the Charlie Chatbot ready to take over and run things here on stream. And there's a couple of goals that I wanted to bring into that chatbot that were not just going to enable interactivity, things for you to do and to get out of the chatbot, but also things for me to happen. So, and you're already starting to see this. Charlie will automatically post clips that occur during stream into the clips channel on my Discord. And I think, and we're gonna test, and we're gonna try it here today because I didn't want to run a stream to test it. But we're gonna test this new feature where you've seen I've already added the ability for it to handle questions from chat, and I don't have it running just yet. But Charlie will detect questions from chat and put them into a queue on my screen. I can choose them, and then they appear as a lower third at the bottom of the screen. The next steps of that feature are Charlie's going to grab that question while I'm answering it and post that question into a new Q&A forum on the Discord with a link to the YouTube recording starting exactly when that question appeared on screen. This is a big step. This is a big thing that's going to start to take our interactions from just, we talked about a thing that time and it's over there on the stream, to some real data around interactions, discussions that we've had, and making that a little bit more permanent. There is a secondary feature that is going to come out after this that is internal to me, but you're going to see me build a little bit of it, and we'll test and look at a bit of that today. Hey, Final Stack, you've lived long enough to see me do vibe coding. I think there's a place where vibe coding can do the really simple things that we already know how to do and we don't want to waste our time doing. Hey, just put together a couple things, a form on this user interface that takes care of this thing. Enhance this form so it has these couple extra fields, blah, blah, blah. And trickle that all the way down and update the model in the database. Cool, easy steps. Trying to do things that are more sophisticated are so non-deterministic that you end up missing big pieces of what you want to deliver, or the AI gets caught on itself and ends up looping. And you end up in this nasty cycle of the AI starts looking for other things to do, and it gets very distracted, like a 7-year-old with ADHD who's off his Ritalin. Like, it just gets distracted and, oh, look at this, oh, look at that, and it just starts doing other things that it had no business doing. So that might be appropriate in some circumstances, but in most cases, it's not. What did I think of the Loki series on Disney? The first series was much better than the second series. The second series had a little bit too much save the universe tone to it. And I appreciate that they wanted to bring a lot of gravity to the situation and really make the series something that was valuable in the larger cinematic universe. They certainly set up things for the Deadpool movie. It's not I like where it ended, but it was a little bit too heavy for me. Yeah. Any updates on the visor glasses? Word is they're supposed to ship this week. They haven't made a public statement that they aren't, but it is literally in the FAQ on visor.com. So if you go to visor.com, I'm going to bring the screen up in just a second. FAQ. And what is the expected shipping date? And it clearly says, and this has not changed, all Founder Edition visors shipped by Q2 2025. It says it right there. Q2 2025 ends on Monday. They haven't said one way or another that they've been shipped, that they haven't been shipped, that they're in manufacturing. We still haven't gotten a status update since March. This is a problem with taking external investors and having this public statement on their website. This is not just a promise to us as customers, but it's a promise to their investors. If they miss this, they're going to have bigger problems. So, we are definitely expecting to hear some shipping statement on this. There is a place inside the Immersed app on your phone where it will show where your device is in the process. Nobody has a device in manufacturing yet. They've missed they've missed their announced ship date twice already. So there was an announced ship date for late summer, fall last year. Missed that. They were going to ship for January, February. Missed that, and they rescheduled to this date, end of Q2. The rumors from folks who do have test versions of the device. Go ahead, you can take a look at that. The rumors are that the software isn't finished. Things have changed with the operating system that they're running on, and because the hardware has been updated, whatever, that they're behind on the software. But as we know, you can't version hardware after it's been shipped, but you can version software. Downloadable content, software updates. Dear Lord, we're all sitting watching this on operating systems that get patched monthly. So that's not out of line. Like that's kind of expected when you buy a device here in 2025, that there's going to be software updates that roll out on some scheduled basis. So I'm okay with that. You're a year late on delivery. Let's go. So, let me head back over to chat. So, yep, there you go. It's my Loki hat. They're a very small company. They're only a couple hundred people, and manufacturing their first bit of hardware. Yeah, they are definitely in over their heads. So, something else that I don't mind sharing. I think I should share. I don't think this is out of line. I can talk about this. Nobody's gonna knock me on this. Over the weekend, I made a decision to try and get a little bit healthier, and I've started on a diet. I want to lose a little bit of weight here. When I look back at older videos, you can see that I'm thinner in the face. That I'm yeah. I weighed less, and that I'm going to try it over the next few months to lose a good. The goal is 30 pounds, 30 to 35 pounds. We'll see how we do, but that's something that I've never really done before. So we'll see how it goes. Like, I've never had to think about and be very purposeful in my meal planning and whatnot. So this is definitely a change, and we're going to get through this, and hopefully we come out for the better on the other side. Hey, Smirking Squiggly, how are you? C# Titan asks, did I download the June 2025 release of Visual Studio and VS Code? I don't know if I downloaded it so much as, and I just keep everything up to date. Like, when stuff says install, it installs. Like, okay. So I've probably installed them. So 17.14.7 preview 1. No, I haven't. That says it's waiting to be installed for Visual Studio. I've been doing more work in Visual Studio Code recently. I'm gonna close Visual Studio because we're gonna work in VS Code. There we go. Does that mean I'll skip the scotch? Funny enough, as I've been doing my meal planning, I've been getting to the end of the evening, and there's room for an evening drink still in my meal planning. So I don't drink every night. I'd go so far as to say I don't drink regularly anymore. But we're getting we've got the time, we've got the space in the meal planning that if I wanted to drink at the end of the evening, I could. And it's not necessary for me right now. So hey, Wolf's Friend 42 over there on YouTube. The more that humanity uses AI, the less able it will be to think for itself. I think that's a statement for the weak-minded. I think that's a statement for folks who don't want to keep up and invest in their own intelligence. If you don't invest in spending time learning how things work, yeah. I'm more worried not about AI thinking for me. I'm more worried about the folks who use AI to create images and videos. why are you creating images and videos with AI? You're creating it because you don't have access to those people, places, things that you want to put into those images and videos. You want those people, places, things to do things that they're not typically going to do. This leads to things that are patently false. So using artificial intelligence technologies to do computer-generated images and videos literally has no good purpose. For the most part, literally has no good purpose. You can find stock images that will get you pretty much the content that you want. And pay the photographers and people that made them then. Like, we're all in this creator economy where we want to be paid for creating and delivering and doing something. When you start to eliminate the creators, then who's getting paid to do the work? And this is the concern I have with the NL web. If you're going to eliminate the user interface in front of all the websites out there and just put it behind a chat text box, first off, that user experience sucks. I think all of us can agree that the artificial intelligence as text box experience is awful. It's, as a user experience, it's awful. But that's what we've got right now. Do we really want more of that? Danlup says, AI replies to proper questions you need to ask and many times replies amazing, but not all the times, and you need to be able to analyze it. And that's just my view. Agreed. So I think there are great places where using the language models, the large language model, to do internet search, to summarize data, to summarize reading, great. Using the language model to summarize a data set, that's a really cool, effective way for us to enable more folks to get deeper insight into your own data and facts and material. Being able to take the large language model and point it to government laws and say, hey, you know what? I'm interested in this. Is this illegal? Are there any statements about this thing that are in proposed bills, legislation, and so forth? That's really cool and effective to help folks get more value out of the data and facts that are in front of us. Certainly Dev recently used Copilot edits on a recent technical test defining Copilot instruction files. There you go. Doing small commits and getting it to update a development notes MD file as I work through it. Nice. Yesterday you heard Scott Hunter say something on .NET Rocks where he said, your job is not going to be taken by AI, it's going to be taken by a developer using AI. Okay. Kind of reinforced in my mind the decision to do that. So the direction that you see a lot of folks going is that you can accomplish more as a developer using the artificial intelligence tools to help you build things smarter, faster, higher quality. However, you still have to have the eyesight and analysis to know that what it's delivering is valuable, that it is doing things in line with what you're looking for. When we get to the Charlie demo that I want to show you, you're going to see some places where I had to go back and retrain Copilot to refix, introduce a new feature, and then repair the feature again. Like, you have to have your eyes and arms around the entire feature set here because the AI doesn't have that scope yet. So the AI can generate and deliver a lot of good code, not great code, good code. It's up to you to stitch it together and make it great code and to validate what it's doing. However, there are things that we can do to help automate some of those things. I've been using Copilot to generate GitHub action scripts so that for the website that we're going to vibe code a little bit today, Copilot.John, it generates and maintains itself. There's 3 or 4 scripts out there that as I make changes to content, to features on the website, not only does it rebuild the website code, but it'll re-render material. It will republish, clear caches, update and maintain things that are running out on Azure. And it does all that automatically when I make a commit into that source code base. Fantastic. Building some of those automations take us a long way to being even more productive with artificial intelligence. Look at the artificial intelligence as a way to eliminate the toil that we don't like doing. Writing the documentation, writing the user guides, taking screenshots of things and putting them in the user guides, putting together the API documentation that you need to send to the next developer over. Let the AI do that, validate it, and send it over. How many of us really write unit tests to go with our applications? Let the AI do that. Then, when the AI goes to build the next set of features, you know whether it built it with quality because the unit tests passed, end-to-end tests passed, and so on and so forth. Pretty good stuff. C# Titan says, my friend's company doesn't allow the use of Copilot as it doesn't conform to the company's development team standards and makes the developers lazy and not use their minds. They're not using it right. Hey there. Alu the Dragon. Hello. 28 months.
Already out of scope, so C# coffee Aluth point.
How you doing there? Thanks so much. It doesn't make what is a lazy developer? I submit to you that I think you actually want lazy developers. Think about it. Lazy developers don't want to write more code. How does a developer get set up so that they write less code? They build tools and things that go generate and manage that code or those systems for them. More automation to make things more stable, to make enhancing and adding new features, new capabilities into applications easier, more standardized, less prone to mistakes and problems is actually a really good thing. So, lazy developers that use templating, that use AI and some well-defined standards, that's not a bad thing. Patty Boy says, paying for creators is exactly what big corporations will be happy to avoid. And this is where I think creator guilds and unions and trademarks and copyright are going to stop some of those things. There's a very large copyright case that was just started last week between the Walt Disney Corporation, Universal Studios, and several other large creative studios against several AI websites. I forget the primary one that they're targeting, that has analyzed and ripped their movies, their animated features, and you can search on their website. You can put in an AI prompt, show me a picture of a time-traveling DeLorean, and you get frames from the Back to the Future movie series that show up. That's not artificial intelligence created. That's literally a frame captured from one of those films. We're going to see this play out, and we're going to see copyright and trademarks play into how the artificial intelligence, how the artificial intelligence tools work. Yep. Yep. That's right. Copilot will often give me a hacky one-off solution rather than giving a proper solution. Yes, because when you start to add more context to Copilot, your cost for those tokens goes up. And we're starting to see, now with the rate limiting that's been introduced in GitHub Copilot, folks are running through tokens very quickly. Very quickly. So you're gonna start paying for more tokens, or you're gonna back off and have more directed commands that you send into the LLM. So final stack. Yeah. Any thoughts on Apple's article, The Illusion of Thinking? Do I have any thoughts on that? What the happened here? My samples. What? No, it should be, there it goes. Right, and it's 1 second. Yeah, this one. I was reading a little bit of their article and I thought, no, this is what we've been saying to you for the last 4 years. The LLM is a text calculator. Anybody who's been suggesting to you that it's thinking has not been listening to what the experts have been telling you. The fact that Apple had to commission a white paper about this shows me how much they're not paying attention to what the rest of the industry has been saying. The large language models are a text calculator, and when you ask it to think, you're merely asking it to do more comparisons and look for higher probability of text coming out in a certain scenario. Apple's a bunch of morons for writing that article. They could have just stood in line with the rest of the industry and said, this is what an LLM is. And they didn't. They had to go and mouth off and make it sound innovative and, oh my gosh, the AI isn't really thinking. Wake up and join the rest of the crowd. Ninja Ola is learning GitHub Actions with Claude for work. No idea what I'm doing, but it's a good tool to learn and explain. That's a great way to use GitHub Copilot. Claude is a fantastic model to use with building GitHub Actions. There's one small problem with Claude and GitHub Actions. I don't know if you've noticed this yet, Ninja Ola. Claude is awful. Claude is a friggin' train wreck when it comes to managing spaces and formatting in code. And in a white space sensitive document like a YAML file, Claude can generate some really good stuff, but it's a train wreck when it comes to formatting that properly. Absolutely awful at it. GPT-4.1, I think you'll find, while it's not as descriptive of what's going on, GPT-4.1 in agent mode, I've found to be more productive to deliver the GitHub action script. I'll then go back with Claude in ask mode and tell it to explain, and it does an amazing job explaining it for me. Use Claude to generate a little markdown file to go next to your GitHub action to document what it does. That it does a phenomenal job with. But Claude is awful when it comes to managing spaces. Yeah, oh, you haven't noticed that yet? Remind me when we get into the code here and I'll show you. Hey, smirking squiggly, you don't know if the AI bubble is the right term, but where there'll be a ton of insecure, unmaintainable software that is cobbled together. Yes. Folks may be able to vibe code, but maybe not inherently understand the language they're using. Yes. That's exactly what's happening. And that's where it's inherent on us as professional developers to bring that keen bit of eyesight to test and demonstrate and show you're susceptible to cross-site scripting, to SQL injection, right? That OWASP top 5 list of susceptible issues inside your application. Like, I have no doubt somebody's going to build an AI tool around the OWASP guidelines and allow you to unleash that at your application and generate repairs. It's coming. It's coming. Somebody's going to do that, and they're going to make a couple bucks doing it, and that's great. In 5 years, will those standards be baked into our AI tools? Probably. You also hate YAML, so it's AI is nice? Yeah. Yeah. GitHub Copilot Instructions MD is a fantastic tool that everybody should have in their projects. Yes, it'll get you a long way on that. When people say they hate YAML, you get the impression is that they're saying they hate GitHub Actions. It's not that they hate GitHub Actions. The markdown that is used to document GitHub Actions, the markdown that's used in Docker Compose files. It's awful. It's awful. There we go. Finally got to Alu the Dragons. Hey, wait, Alu? I thought you were Alu the Crow. When did Alu the Dragon become a thing here? Guilty as charged here. Yep, lazy developers automate all the things, and that's going to take us a long way, so that you're not doing the same lame toil thing all the time, to now getting to invest your time in the things that you're a subject matter expert in, that you're really good at, and that you enjoy, so you're not spending time grinding away writing continuous integration scripts. It's all fine until you're rewarded with a bunch of PRs to review that were 99% made by AI. Let the continuous integration tests and scripts verify that things that previously existed still work. And yeah, it's going to be a pain in the neck to read through them. You're right. Hey, it's Simon. You're right. There's a difference between lazy and lazy. Okay. What if you ask, show me a time-traveling DeLorean and it shows frame grabs from the film? You got what you asked for, just like you would. And Google search is Google search is allowed to show those images because they have there is a copyright deal there. There is a copyright deal there. How you doing there? Knock you out on YouTube. Can you please me AI-related full-stack projects? What does that mean? I'm not sure what that means. Apple's Vista Light-like looking theme is cool. Liquid glass, says Manoj. Yeah, right. Here's Apple rolling out literally the Windows Aero theme from 2003. It's been 22 years later. Hey, Microsoft had a really cool design over there and graphics system that they described. Let's use that. What would you think if the next version of Windows came out with skeuomorphic design? What would you say to that? Like, really? Really? What's old is new again. The reasoning models are interesting, says Oakleus. The think stuff looks like it's just filling the context window to guide future token prediction. Yeah. It was already doing things like that already. Oftentimes the first sentence of an LLM response, yeah, was setting context. Yep. Yep. So. Let me show you a little bit of what I've been doing with the Charlie chatbot so that I can make identifying segments like this segment, right? This segment, what we're doing right here is, in my humble opinion, the most popular part of my stream. The most interaction, it's a question of folks getting here early enough to see these parts. And part of me thinks I should stop about halfway through a stream and do another AMA segment. But the AMA segments, always the most interaction, the most discussion, and the most interesting, not just for our discussion right now, but for the reflection afterwards. Folks want to go back and, hey, what were you talking about that time? And find this content to talk about. Let me put on my gunners here real quick. These are the new Gunner Pinnacle glasses. I'm one of their ambassadors. They send me pairs of Gunner glasses. These have, of course, the 60% amber tint in it, so it blocks out blue light. Really nice. That's why you see some of the reflection on the lenses. Really great stuff. I love how wide these are. They have a nice curve on them so that it actually creates a little microclimate around your eyes to keep it a little bit more humid around your eyes so your eyes stay moist. Really great stuff. Big thanks to the folks at Gunner for sending over some glasses. And hey, check out the link below. If you're interested in Gunner glasses, there's a link just below me here on Twitch. You can get 15% off. It's the highest coupon available anywhere on the web. 15% off any pair of Gunner glasses. Big thanks to them. They've been a longtime supporter of the channel. So you recognize me now? Let me show you a little bit of what I've been doing over here with the Charlie bot. And we'll get this running and we'll dive into some things here. We'll come back to that page. And we'll come back to that. Close this. We're gonna run that in just a second. Over. No, it's in the question feature. So I've broken up the various features of the chatbot as a series of classes here called features. Some of these things I need to, like the geocoder feature, I need to move out of here, maybe over into services or something. But I have this question queue feature. The concierge feature is just a simple greeting. Hey, hello. You know, that's all it's doing. It's a hello world. It was the first feature that I was writing to make sure that this architecture made sense. So this question queue feature, you've already seen a little bit of this working when I put up the lower thirds on screen. So when I put up lower thirds, we actually end up then with a question duration. So we know what the question was, who asked the question, when the question was put on screen, and then we can capture when it was taken off screen. And now we've got some more interesting information that we can share and use further down the line and make this a little bit more accessible when we have discussions like we did today, and you want to go back and review them. Or maybe you're just interested in those discussions and you want to recap and go look, hey, what was Fritz talking about? See the list of questions and dive right into one of those questions. What do you see this? If this works right, like if I ran this correctly, if I built this correctly, like I'm hoping that this works, all right? So come on now, go ahead and build.
You can do it!
It didn't work. Oh, what? What? Are you kidding? You're gonna make me put text around that. Fine. What now? What? all on this page. What is it? Really? It's all this page when I was working on it yesterday. And I've got all these null errors. I've been trying to clean them up, but it's not happening. Right, that should, yeah. Finally, yeah. All right, so head in here. There we go. And I have my dashboard, and I can see all the connections coming in. The link to the Twitch VOD with timestamp be posted. Oh, Surly Dev. Chef's kiss. Wait till you see this. Go ahead. Somebody ask a question there in chat. Oh, and the recent quotes are starting to appear here. I added that the other day. You can watch my stream on the online browsing platform. All right. Hey, it sees a question. Let's see if this works. Where's my lower third? Do I need to... this one, refresh. Okay. Let's see if that worked. Not yet. Okay. So the idea here is, and let's dig back, and we're gonna work through this a little bit. Show me the structured logs. We're gonna go over to the website. Come on now. Okay. What it should do yeah, no errors reported there. Okay. We're not going to look at you. We're not going to look at you. Let's take the question down and see if that completes the cycle here. Now, it didn't take it off screen. Removing question. Yeah. The Charlie command should have popped open. No, it doesn't know questions like that. And it did not do the post. Okay. So let me walk through this again. I'm going to the, so here's the UI, and the idea is when I remove the question, right? Yeah, we tried to do these things to do the animation. And then it calls feature remove question. Where's this being called? So what this should be doing, check to see if it's the currently selected message. It should track the question completion, generate the YouTube URL, and then share the question to Discord. And then that removes it. Okay. So let's see if it got into So I'm using Redis cache to persist some of this so that I'm not running a bunch of databases out there. Just use Redis. Question durations. There it is. Right? Can we open that up? I don't want to edit that. You're not going to let me move that over further. Stream start time was at 12:58 UTC. Start time was at 9:45. That's local time. That's local time. So offset start time was 47 minutes 37 seconds. Okay. Selection time. What is selection time? And then completion time was at 47. 47:15. That doesn't make sense. Oh no. Okay, completion time and end time are the same. I think it got confused here. All right, hang on. So, one question selected. What? Right, there's the question repository. Huh. Test. Service. No. Here we go. Track question selection. New question duration. Okay. So, start time, end time. Yeah, these are duplications that I don't really need. Successfully geocoded Middle Earth. All right. Robson Previato.
Robson Previato just resubscribed for 14 months. Good morning, Fritz.
Hello, how you doing there, friend? So I've got some extra fields here that I want to get rid of because yeah, that's not what I want. Before I get there, though, it did track the completion. So this should have run. That should have formatted. Right, don't I have a... I thought I had a logger here. Don't I have a logger? No, I don't have a logger. Cool. No, that's not a thing. There you go, making stuff up. Nope, we're gonna create one. No. Yeah, that's it right there. Thank you. And then down here, I should be able to say... That's what I want. Yep. I don't care about number of seconds, just... There you go. And this... should go down and create that forum post. Yep, good. Cool. I'm going to leave that up. Let's come over here. And now we got some more questions. Why am I broken, Charlie? Can you give me an elevator pitch about the question queue solution? See, the user avatars here from YouTube don't always load right away. Can you do web dev? Let's click into that and see if that goes through. Error. Now that looks like it's selected properly. Okay. Something errored in the middle of there. Let's take a look. Unhandled exception. Yeah, what's the exception? Okay, that's because of hot reload. So, that looks like it's working properly. If I go over here to the cache, refresh, there's the second question from Knock You Out on YouTube. Okay, that worked. So, can you do webdev.net live streams that incorporate AI, ML somehow that replicate real-life applications? For example, Cursor AI or Copilot. Yes, you can use .net for those things. Am I going to build those on stream? No. I want to build things that are more useful, that take advantage of for us to deliver more important things that would be more valid in our applications. Do you really want to write another code editor? No. You probably want to write something that's going to improve your application, that's going to augment and make that a better experience. So, am I going to do that in the future? You betcha. You betcha. All right, now when I hit remove, okay, it faded that out, and I still got an error coming through here. Unhandled exception in circuit. Value cannot be null on the logger. Great. So that tells me it didn't get all the way through either. No. Right? Yeah. So let me restart this, John. It should also be caching these locations that you keyed in. The transparent window with the pink title bar, it's the overlays. Because the overlay is wired up to the debugging instance that I'm running right here, it's when there's an issue there, it reloads and runs into that. Yeah, reload. Okay. So back over here onto the dashboard. So it remembers the other questions, right? Go back into Redis Insights. Right, the question queue is being persisted. And I'm going to need to do something to clean that up at some point. But there's the question durations, and it did. So let's try another one here. There, that loaded properly using the those features. Now, why do I have this bar here? Oh, it's from the scroll bar. That's fine. So now when I remove, no errors. What do we have in the log? Sharing question, what is the transparent? Okay. So that got to here. It should get to creating forum post in Discord channel. Yes. It's not there. No, it is. It is. Now, it's still there on screen. So I need to do something with that. But yes. Oh, wow. Discord isn't showing up on screen. It's posting the wrong message. Or, wait a sec. No, that's coming in live. Is that YouTube link? No. It's coming into the live. And, alright. Oh, wait, and see, it didn't remove it. It is still there. Even though I clicked remove. Yes, you can post questions from YouTube. Can you post questions in Twitch chat? Yes. It picks up and does both. See? Is that a Discord bot? Yes. Your Twitch bot is live? Hey, that's great, Billy. What's it do? So there's something that isn't quite back over here. So this total seconds is a double. And the offset start time is like that. So we should probably do a math.floor on that. No. That one. And let's take off 3 seconds for a little bit of a fudge factor. Just so that it starts a few seconds before the message pops up on screen. So this should actually be when I click remove a question, it should actually remove the question. So if I choose this one, yep, pops up from SurlyDev. And if I remove it, so it didn't take it off the screen. I've got to fix that. Right? That looks like a state has changed thing. And if I go over to Discord, and that looks correct. Right, when we go to a YouTube URL, so let's, right? See, it put the timestamp on and it put an S on the end. Like when you do a share, yeah, see, I can't put in the It won't let me put in the timestamp on that. So, and it put an S on the end. Maybe it's only like that because we're in a live right now. So I've got to figure out it's oh, the YouTube questions, when it restarts, it'll rediscover them. I should have it remove those. How did I select a question and make it appear on OBS? Like this. I click it on my dashboard, and this is an overlay that's also being managed by Charlie. That's embedded. It's a website that's embedded in OBS. When I click remove, it hides that, and it's supposed to remove it over here in OBS, but it's not. So I've got two issues there that I need to address. Remove older YouTube questions when reloading. If they already exist in the cache. And then this other one was remove button no longer hides the lower third. So we'll address those two. Is Charlie OSS? Not yet. Not yet. And I think there was DGen1 with a question here. Will you be able to ask questions in Discord that go into the question queue? That's the other half of this that I'll get to. What I would probably do is in the new forum, and the new forum isn't visible yet. I haven't made it public yet. Let you post a question, and if there's a question posted that doesn't have that wasn't created by Charlie, grab those questions and put them into the cache. And then they would show up here. So yeah, let's just write that down. New forum posts that aren't created by Charlie should be loaded into the question queue. Consequently, then, when answered, Charlie should post a response in that thread. So that forum isn't public yet. Now that I know it is posting properly, I can make this visible, I guess. Permissions. Turn off private channel. Yep. So you should now be able to see there is a live stream dash questions forum in the Q&A section on the Discord. Chuck Beasley
just resubscribed for 34 months.
How you doing there, Chuck? Thank you so much for the resub. Really appreciate the support, and we put the subscriptions and cheers right back into the stream. Thank you so much. Okay. let me address these couple of issues here. And let me see if I can get Copilot to just solve this for me. Jeremy Knight
just resubscribed for 62 months. Thanks
62
again for the content.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. 62 months with us, bringing that Prime subscription. Didn't cost you a thing. You're already paying for Amazon Prime, but they give you a free subscription you can use anywhere you'd like on Twitch. If you use it here, I'm going to reinvest that right back into the stream. Yeah, we've got a treasure train running right now. We're halfway there, 4.5 minutes to go. This is a hype train that what's it do? It'll unlock 35% off gift subs if we get to level 5. We never get to level 5. So don't get lost in that. I could create 2 buttons, one which is answered and the actual which is remove. When I click on answered, it creates a report and be able to see how much questions. Getting there. Give me 1 second here. I need to step away for a second and blow my nose. Be right back. All right, 3 minutes in the treasure train. Oh yeah, put the camera back on there, Fritz. There we go. All right. So that's not a bad idea about answered versus remove. Questions that are removed that aren't answered aren't logged. They're not logged. So, all right, first things first, the remove button isn't hiding the lower third. Let's take a quick look at that. So, if it is the selected message on on question selected, invoke, which is in the lower third. So, I have the page broken out. Over here, question overlay. So here's where the lower third is formatted, right? I did see your article, Chuck. Yes, very cool. Thank you so much for sharing that, man. You're writing some great content. Do you want to share a link to your article here so other folks can learn more? So here's how the question is formatted, and so this does on question selected invoke message. Oh. It shouldn't be message, right? It should call on question. It does call that, and then it calls on question removed, and then it should call remove question, which is async. Here we go. It should call down in here. Yeah. So if I make this like that, I can do get awaiter, get results. Now that should have hot reloaded there. You see the UI over here is trying to reload. There it goes. And if I head back to this, force the refresh. And if we bring up, that appeared properly. And you should see in Discord, in the Q&A section, there's a yeah, there's a new message block there. And if I remove that, okay, the animation wasn't great, but it removed it. And now it shows me a new post over here. And it does show that new post in the forum. So everybody should be able to see. There's a link to the Discord forum. So you should see Charlie is making posts there. I'll clean these up. But when you click through to watch on YouTube, it should go right to the time when that appears, but I don't think I have the... And I'm wondering if it's not jumping right to it because the video is... because I'm still broadcasting. Right? Yeah. And there's ways that we can put tags on messages to make that... Yeah, to make that a little bit more easier to discover and search through. So, yeah, I can't... okay, so I can't remove without actually showing a message. So, to Robson's point, I should have a remove button to be able to remove... a question without answering it. Here. Zoom in one click. And... come here, you. Open an editor, put this away, and I'm going to move you over here. I'd like a button on the left side of the queue messages that will let me delete a question without presenting it on screen. Use an X or use a trash can icon. For this button on the far left side of each of. That would let me delete that question. And we're going to do this in agent mode. Go. So the second piece of this that I'm not showing you, that I'm working on the side, and I'm gonna get to offline and do more work on that. Holy crow. And I'm using GPT 4.1 as my model for this one. The second piece of this is I'm going to be able to do some analysis of those questions. But I'm also going to be able to download the recording from Twitch or YouTube. And because I know the timestamps of when the question occurred, the text of the question, I'm going to create YouTube videos automatically. So for the duration that question appeared on screen, I'm going to chop the MP4, have just that content, and I know what the topic was. I'm going to do further analysis of that video generate a thumbnail, generate a catchy description and title, and I'll be ready to upload that to YouTube. And I'm going to do that all automatically. That's the goal. What do we got here? A trash can button has been added to the left of each queue message in the question queue. Clicking this button will immediately delete the question without presenting it, using the existing removal logic. The button uses a font awesome trash can icon and is styled to appear on the left for clear visibility. So there's my remove button. On-click remove question with animation. And yeah, okay. And what do we do over here with the RSS? It's hanging it on the left side, so that all looks right. What's it look like on screen? I don't see it on screen. Restart so it retries this. I could still track the moment the message was put on screen and the moment I pressed answers to track how much time did I take to answer. Oh yeah, no, I have that. I'll have those statistics also. Yes. Rejoining the server. There it is. And that is a terrible trash can button. So if I click that, it should... Okay. I don't like the appearance of it. I don't like... So when I hover... where is it? Right there. And let's also add the context of the... Sure, the open editors. No, not all the open editors. I don't need this. Don't need that or that. That's fine. Don't need you. Don't need you or you. That's fine. The trash can button looks ugly. Remove the red background. Yeah. Hey, how you doing there, Eric? Napalm? Hello, hello. Am I able to rescue a removed question that was not intended or perhaps I want to review later? I'm not going to worry about undeleting questions at this point. I would ask somebody to ask a question again. So, what does that look like now? Ah, that's better. Can you make the highlight for the trash can a uniform square around it? So, yeah, undeleting, that's... That's a little bit further down the line. Not something that I'm going to get lost on. Right, that's better. I'm the only one that sees this, so hey, that's okay. So if I delete that, gone. What about pinning, archiving, saving questions that I want to review later or off stream? Already done. They're already done. That's already done. Yeah. I need to restart Redis Insight. I should really pin Redis Insight. So here's the cache of questions. They're all right there. So, when they're removed, they're actually removed from here. When they're answered, they move over and go into the other one. Yeah. And I wasn't crystal clear about some of those things. There's certainly something to be said about when I do a delete. I'd like that animation to go a little faster. Yeah. Let's make that animation a little faster on the delete. Remove question with animation. Let's put a... Oh, it's in the CSS, isn't it? When I click the trash can, don't animate. Just remove. I thought I had it just a remove in there somewhere. For instant feedback. Cool. Yeah, there we go. Yep. What about pinning? And I don't need to do that because I've already got it. Can I add the sound of paper being crumbled when it deletes? I could, but you would hear that. I don't think that adds something to the stream. So I'm going to leave that one. It is classic 90s recycle, but you're totally right. You're totally right. And I like the direction you're going, but I don't need that right now. Let me get to removing older questions. So let's save what I've got at this point. And this will be open source when I'm done. When I'm done. Some liquid glass. Oh, and there's the hamster's request again. So I've got 2 hamsters requests queued up here. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. Where'd it go? I'm just gonna jump right into it. The doctor? No. Where are they? There they are.
Can you hear me now? There it is! I'm gonna put 10 minutes on the clock. I can't. I need... Yeah. Add a timer for 10 minutes. There we go. Has the team asked about my... Here. Has the team asked about my experiences and frustrations using GitHub Copilot? Yes? And the sound is low. Well, sorry. I'll make that louder. Yes? And I've shared that feedback. They've heard it. They're working on some of those issues. So, it's coming. Definitely coming. Now the remove button over here doesn't work. That looked right. No. What was changed over here? Left remove. Where's the remove button? Aha! Background. need two different remove buttons. Yeah. Oh, now we're gonna do Vader. Oh, yeah. We'll get to that. For the remove button on the right side, make it red background and the text remove with a similar rounded square. Yeah. Wish these ads? Yeah, ads for another minute. What am I using to do featured chat? I wrote it myself. Okay, what's that look like? Keep that. Refresh. You fool! No. 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 That looks right. Yes, OpenStreetMap. Yes, offline, you can cache offline. There's instructions for that. So, yes. But that should work. Good, that worked. That all worked the way we wanted. It didn't collapse that out. And the moron. This is the only thing where it's left remove. So I'm gonna remove that. Get back over here. Take that off. Take that off. And this is left remove. Yeah. Left remove. Yeah, that's what I want. So, I wrote my own. I wrote my own here. So, works great. And when I remove, that question goes into Discord. So, yep. They're all still appearing in Discord. We'll see if it loads better afterwards. That works great. Okay. Next up. We got that. So, older YouTube questions at reload. If it's in the cache, don't reload it. Well, no. It's been removed. If it reloads, it's not in the cache. This is a debug mode thing. I'm not gonna get wound up on that. I'm gonna decline that. Yeah! Yeah! 4 minutes left on hamsters mode. Okay. I think that's all I want for now. Yeah. Okay. But this is good. This is much better than I wanted. But the next steps are here. It sees today's stream. What does this do? I don't know what that did. But I'll be able to upload this video, and it will start breaking them out. I don't know what that did. No. I gotta figure out what that's trying to do. I just vibe coded this page. Use Copilot last night to build an upload page. Takes a file, puts it in the target data directory. Next call, build a service to embed and load into a graph. Nice. So, I've got more work to do on that. Okay. I don't want to do the video editing now live on stream. Because that's a post-stream operation. Yeah. Is the channel invite only? Nope. Everybody's welcome. There should be a Discord link just below. Yeah. Alright. So let me park that feature for now. Oh. Okay. Okay with this, okay with that. So we solved a couple. That image looks like California is falling into the Pacific. No. Why didn't that... And that should... Now, what happened there? I mean, that worked, but... Go back to that. Alright. Left remove. Sometimes the syntax highlighting is awful. We're done with hamsters.
But now, Vader mode, 5 minutes. Add another timer for 5 minutes. There we go. Alright. It's weird with this music in the background. What can I tell you? Left remove. Yes. Oh, it's a button. Border none. Yeah, border none. That should be border none, but where are you getting that? It's calculating CSS wrong. Border radius. It's not seeing. Hang on. Restart. And you see the overlay there again. So what do we got? Right. There's the yeah. And that's correct. And for some reason, I get a rate limit error. Ah! That's right. I am. What can I tell you? A little bit. Not too much. So, yeah, that all worked properly. So that was a vibe, not a vibe. Hot reload snafu. That's a big word. Big word. Okay. So we did reload these. I'm okay with that. Okay. And then the question was, if there's new questions added to Discord, can we get them to load over into the queue? Let me come back to that later. That's not something on my to-do list. I'll jump over here. I'd rather stay focused. If a come on. If a new question is added in Discord, comma, add it to the question queue. No, add it. Alright. So, logged, we'll get back to that in the future. What else? What else? You go away, you go away. So for the question queue, I think I've got enough for now. And I'm hoping the Discord updates with those links properly when I go offline. We'll see. There we go. Done with Vader mode. That's not it. That's it.
There we go. Back to normal. Whew. I miss my own voice. All right. I've got about 45 minutes left in the time that I wanted to be able to code today because I've got some other content that I need to record and prepare. I'm giving a presentation about Playwright and .NET Aspire tonight to the Tulsa.NET user group. So I need to do some work to prepare for that as well this afternoon. So I can't go as long as I normally would here. I'm going to be cutting things off at about 11:30 Eastern. That's in about 45 minutes. So I think I can park this for now. I think I'll just leave it running. Is it online at all? Yes, it's all online. There's a meetup that you can click into, and you'll get a link to the Zoom call that'll host the meeting. So, okay. The other thing I wanted to work on today that we are going to do a bit of... I've already vibe coded a bit of this feature, but I need to go through and inspect it. It's for this website, Copilot.John. This is a website that I built to help manage and deliver tips about how you can use the AI, the large language models, to get more out of them, to be more productive, and to actually feel like it's delivering something for you. Oh, there's no skill level on this one. So, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to leave the other VS Code running. We're going to take a look, jump into that source code, and do some work on this. Yeah, it didn't add a level. Right, there's a... Where is it? Difficulty, that's it. There you go. Yeah, go ahead, add that. It's staged, go. Now, I mentioned I've automated a bunch of this stuff for this website. So, it will automatically trigger a GitHub action here because I added that. And in about 30 seconds, it'll push that update to the website and force the cache to refresh. The source code for this website is completely open source. It is online. You can click through and take a look at how I structured things and how it works out there. So there you go. One update. It'll report that in the summary down here after it's done done doing its work. There it is. 100% updated one. 20 articles unchanged. The homepage takes a little bit to reload. Why didn't it? Ah, there it is. So there it goes. Am I paying for Redis? Yes. I have the smallest Redis install on Azure. And what I've found is the smallest Azure Redis service is 250 meg. Check this out, right? I'll run my local Redis Insight and show you. I have this hooked up to like 4 different websites, and I'm only using like 15 meg. It is ridiculous, right? 11 meg. I have it wired up to Copilot.John. I have it wired up to Aspirify.net, and I'm caching stuff like crazy on Aspirify.net. It's wired up to my blog, and it's managing 30,000 keys out there right now. I mean, there is no free tier. The folks at Redis have a free tier that's available. But at $15 a month, like, okay, sure. And because I'm using it across 4 websites, I don't care. Go ahead. Like, just keep using more. You love the Philly culture mixed with tech. Thank you, Null Ref. Thank you. And I don't know if you... Purple is kind of my color, my signature on a lot of the websites that I build. I like to put purple. But that's Eagles Midnight Green, and that's Phillies Red. So there is another statistic that I'm going to throw out here about the number of users, the number of views Once that is a significant number, I'll throw that out there, and it'll be it'll be something that that'll just kind of encourage folks to tune in, and I'll probably use like Philadelphia Flyers orange, you know, just as that subtle hint to Philadelphia sports. So, and actually, does it? No, I don't have any kind of a tooltip on it. I should. That says whatever on it. So, these don't actually go anywhere. Huh. No matter. Thank you, null ref check. So, what I want to do here, and what I started working on, and I'm going to finish. Copilot that John is great at parsing and presenting Markdown. What it isn't great at presenting is images in that Markdown. So how do I do that? How do I put the images in the Markdown so that they can be displayed and delivered and look good on the website? So that's a piece that I've vibe coded a little bit. I need to inspect and review because it wasn't entirely the way I want it to, the way that I want it to be yet. I want to dig in and look a little bit further at that. So I've got it on a feature branch here, content images I called it. So I'll jump over to that branch. Yeah, go away. So I should, yeah, see there's the images folder. I'm not thrilled with that location. So how you doing there, Joe Carrasco on YouTube? Hello. We try to keep things English only here. So if you don't mind, we prefer English here. What are we doing? We're gonna update the way that our website manages and presents Markdown so that it can support images. Why only English? Because if you're chatting, we want you to be able to participate. So I don't read Russian, but I can use a translator tool. And you clearly understand English because you're listening to my voice. So that's only fair to the rest of us. Okay. So if I look at the log here for this one, right? No, I want to be on here. Okay. That was a merge deal. Add image processing. And down here in my content loader, I added... So it's going to get all the Markdown files. Look for images in its adjacent image folder. Okay. So I have tips, and there's images next to that. Okay. Get files where contains. Okay. So right now, I'm just going to have all the images kind of mashed up together. You're from Kazakhstan. Okay. Welcome. No, this is not JavaScript. This is C#. Have I tried the new cursor? I haven't. It's been a while. It's been a couple weeks since I've used cursor. And they've turned it into an IDE? Really? Curious. So this is going to process images and upload them to my blob storage. When it parses the Markdown files, if it finds an image, why/original? Why do I use VS Code instead of Visual Studio? I've been using Visual Studio Code for about the last month. I've been enjoying it. I'm a longtime Visual Studio user, but I'm enjoying using Visual Studio Code right now. I bounce back and forth. I'm not sure about that. Now, what's on the other side of this else? Try. Else. If the file does not exist and it's doing the same thing, process and upload image. And then, it feels like duplication. But I get it. All right. Come on, where's the other side of that? And heck, just run it. Just run it. Let's see what this looks like running locally. And then we'll dig in a little bit. No! Surly Dev. No! If I get to stick with Vim, no. Why? Why is coding with Vim more awesome than coding with Visual Studio Code? What's the attraction there? Help me out. Folks that are writing iPhone apps, they're not writing in Vim. So Azure Storage and tables. There's no blob storage out there. Yeah. So, okay. In app hosts here, add Azure Storage with blob tables. I need to add blobs. Yep, that's fine. Okay. So then down in Program CS, where was that error? Right? Well, that's just wonderful. There we go. Blob service client, program CS 133. No. This should just be blobs. Now, it says hot reloaded, but I really need to restart it. It's a mental exercise. Why make folks write? Why make the coding experience more difficult? Yeah, it didn't. When it doesn't need to be. And quite frankly, more folks find success using VS Code. Have a good one, Patty boy. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm only going to be on here for about another half hour. Okay, that says everything ran properly. Reload. Nope, we're still good. Over here, now that should load. There we go. Nothing. Yeah, sorry. I'd rather be productive and get crap done. And now I'm all congested again. Oh, man. Excuse me. Ugh. Close this. I'm gonna leave that running. So... Did it just not find any content? It should have content. Right? Storage Explorer. No, not that. Azure Storage Explorer. Let's take a look. You love Nano? Cool. I'd rather you as viewers be able to interact and get something productive out of this than watch me fiddle with interactions. That's not the right one. No. Oh, there you go, this one. Haha. It doesn't see my tables at all. What? No, that's 27 standby. What did I do? Yeah, no, that's where it is. Okay. All right, fine. I've got a script that does the upload of stuff. So let's do that. Close all these. Now I've done it. Oh well. Where is it? Yeah, upload content. There we go. Package downgrade. What did we do? Fine. Do it again. And what do we got? Let's just search from here. Ooh. Ooh. Did we just crash that? It's not running. That's why. It's not running. So run that. Right now, refresh. Sure, pin that to quick access. That's fine. Here's this one. I thought there was a way to say search from here. Did they remove that? No, they did. They removed that feature. You make me sad. Okay. So while that's running, now try and upload. There it goes. There's the content. Okay. Give me 1 second here. I'm going to go blow my nose again. Be right back. Ah, there we go. All right. Hey there. I'll take that question, sure. Where'd it go? How much developer setup matters in terms of lighting, desk, and general vibeness? Depends on what kind of vibe you work best in. There's times at night where I really enjoy working with the lights off and some like hard metal tunes going on, because that's just that aggressive vibe that I want as I'm writing code. So I think it's up to you. What drives you? What gets you excited and into working with the tech? So during the day, though, like when I'm working in the morning, I want my lights on. I want to have a nice cup of coffee. I want to feel like I'm part of the day. I've got my windows open. I can see the sun outside. I think it's a really good way for you to feel like a human, even though you're surrounded by tech and all these things. And I've got soundproofing and that kind of stuff around me as well. So, yeah, it's there we go. VC is not compile. What? I don't know what that means. Do I think the next question here is, do I think the famous programmer burnout can be caused by a bad coding environment as the main reason? No. The coding environment isn't what burns people out. What burns people out is the amount of stress and the mental toll that it takes to deliver content like this. Me presenting content here, there's several things that you don't see going on. I'm managing my audio. I'm the audio tech. I'm managing my audio levels and my microphone here. I'm managing my lighting. I'm constantly keeping an eye on that. I'm managing the layout and the content of the things that are on screen, right? I'm also the moderator, going through, reviewing questions, responding to things, and I'm thinking, planning, architecting, and building software. There are some folks that won't do this type of presentation unless they have a production team of at least 3 to 5 other people helping them. Like, that's perfectly fine. Folks, there are folks who are very successful doing that, and certainly if I had a production team that was helping me like that, there would be a ton more that I could do. But I don't have the resources for that. I'm not going to get the resources for that. I don't have the finances to get the resources to hire a bunch of folks. So what I do is I'm a programmer. I'm going to automate as much of that garbage as possible. So I have stream decks that automate my lighting, that automate my scene management. I've got my audio mixer over here set with levels and different configurations so that I can jump around there very easily and adjust things without very much thought. My machine and all the things here I've got configured as best as possible, and you're seeing me use a little bit more of the AI to generate and manage code and to write specifications, because then I don't have to think as much about those, and I can be more of the driver that's talking about and leaning into, here's how to accomplish and do these things. And that, I believe, is a more complete program, and I can respond then and do the interactive experiences, like answering questions like this one, and talking to you around the project that we're working on here live on stream. So I think that's a more complete experience that gets us working through this together. So there you go. And you're going to see now, because that question rolled off screen, it's going to appear in the Discord in the Q&A forum. Thank you, Joe Carrasco. Appreciate the kind words about the microphone and the sound here. Cy Gamma says, dysfunction can lead to burnout. Us vets of the industry have seen this in the workplace. Yeah. It's the volume and stress of having to manage so many different things at once. Quite frankly, this is what happened to me in May. I had so many things going on that it was just too much for me to manage all at once. And when you live stream, I'm very clear about who I am, what I'm doing. My name is in clear text on my on my Twitch channel, my YouTube channel, on all my social medias, on my GitHub, all the places. Like, I am crystal clear and transparent with you about who I am, what I'm doing, how my life is going. I talked to you about how I'm starting on a diet when we started stream today. So sharing and being a part of the larger community with you. I want you to see me as another guy that's hanging out at the office that we can talk to about what happened in sports, what's happening in politics, in pop culture, and have a good time with that. And then we're going to write a little bit of code together. We're going to have some fun. And it's more of a larger developer talk radio. I don't want you to think I'm some YouTube idol or something, but I want to make sure that you can get the content and discover the content that I've produced as easy as possible. So that's why I'm automating things like you're seeing here. You've been trying to get your hands on my streaming kit. Okay. I could write up another blog post about that. It's been a while, and some things have changed here, but I uninstalled all of my VS Code extensions. I'll come back to this question. I uninstalled most of my extensions the other day in an effort to fix some issues that I was having. I only have 7 extensions installed now. .NET, .NET, .NET. Basically C# dev kit. GitHub Copilot. And the Test Explorer UI and the test adapter. That's it. That's it. That's all that I have installed. I did have a bunch of other things to do some Git highlighting and stuff. Don't need it anymore. I'm not digging in and working with that stuff, and quite frankly, I had a bunch of overhead running out there that I just didn't need. So Jeff the Influencer. I've been working with Gunner since 2018. I've been 7 years working with Gunner as an ambassador. I believe I'm on their website. I believe I'm on this page. Yeah, there I am. See? So, I'm the only one that's not wearing gunner glasses in the pictures. Like, all right. So, yes, I am a little bit of an influencer. The folks from Digma sent me the keyboard that I'm using. You can learn more about that keyboard below. So, have I connected my Stream Deck with VS Code or Visual Studio 2022? No. Not yet. Did I already develop something integrated with Teams? The Teams folks worked with and used a little bit of my plugin kit to build some official plugins for the Stream Deck to work with Teams. Ironic, I'm not wearing gunners. Yeah, on the Gunner website. Is there any way to get rid of burnout? Is there any way to get rid of this stupid burnout? Because for me, it's been here for half a year, and I observe already no way of getting out. Step away from the PC. Seriously, Olympic. What I did, I went for a week vacation at Virginia Beach. I have a camper, a tow behind camper. Took that to Virginia Beach, parked on the beach, spent a magnificent week there, unplugged. I was barbecuing right there, and it's got a nice awning out the side, picnicking. It had a fantastic time for just a week. A week away, get away, unplug. It's okay to have your phone, but don't think about programming. If you start thinking about programming, break out a pen and paper. Write something down. But unplug. Take the time to get away. Get out from behind the big screens. Right? Go see a movie. Go bowling, spend some time with friends, go skating, do something else outside of the tech. And if you're not on the other side of that, at the end of that, spend a little bit more time on it. Get away and unplug, and that will help. All right. So, I did it for a week. Yeah. You got to the beach a lot and work on your own projects, but that is your experience. There you go. Exactly. I'm taking time off. Next week, there's on Friday is the American Independence holiday. I'm going to take some time that week. I will be streaming, but I'm going to take some time that week to work on my own projects and things. So I'm also going to be setting up for the 2 live workshops that we're going to be doing later in July. Friday, July 18th, we're going to do an 8-hour build AI features workshop with .NET. July 25th, we're going to introduce and get you started with .NET Aspire. Really great stuff. That's coming up in just a couple weeks. You're going to see messages from all kinds of companies in tech talking about those workshops. It's going to be a great time. You're going to be able to watch it for free live here on Twitch and YouTube. And of course, all the source code, all the recordings will be available afterwards so you can tune in and catch up. Hey, Code with Sean. Good to see you. Hello. Independence Day. Yeah, it was a fun movie. You don't get why... Continuing here. All right, so let me go back over. Nope, that's the real website. Not working on the real website right now. Working on here. So that should have loaded content. Yes, there it did. Okay. Now, what was my test article that I wrote? I had a test article that had content. Back up here. Like, was it called test or something? Visualize data with Copilot? I don't think so. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So let's see if that shows up properly, and then we'll go from there. Give me all tips. Yeah, something like that. Where was it? Visualize data. Is it this one? All right, so those aren't loading properly. I don't think it put it into the blob containers. Yeah, okay. So I don't think it put the images into the blob containers. We'll have to get back to that. How did it do rendering the tag for that? No, that's not going to work. Okay, so we need to... We got a couple things here to fix. Ugh. You think a lot of tech work environments are stressful, then we want more stressful than we want to believe. A lot of it is ego? Yes. Let me come back to that question, Joe. Yeah, you can absolutely talk about that. Code with Sean. Yep. All right, so I need to go back to my content loader. Well, here's where it was running. Uploading the markdowns. Server failed to authenticate the request. Okay. So it's trying to upload locally, but it doesn't have the blob connection string. Don't need you right now, but my PowerShell script. Storage emulator connection string. That has the table endpoint. So we need to update this so it has the blob connection string. And there we go. Yeah, just figure that out. Where to go? This one. Right. No, use 4.1. Yeah. Update the PowerShell script to pass in the connection string to the blob storage emulator defined in app host. Let's also give it context for app host. There we go. This should populate the connection string properly for the content loader. And let's also add the folder for content loader. All right, go. So, you attended more US user groups during the plague times than you did UK user groups? Okay. You're gonna so this is updating the storage connection string to include the blob endpoint. All right. No further action is needed. Really? Is that what you think? Surprise me. Content loader, program CS, program. Connection string. Blob service client. Oh, okay. All right, maybe that is a thing. So let's tell this to reload again. Let's see if it gets the blob content loaded. Processed images. Okay, so if I look over here, content images. What? Larger, medium, original thumbnail. Okay. So I guess those are the hashes at the various. What? All right, go back to here. Still don't get it. I don't think that's correct. Not only that, but it's not going to actually get through and load it. So the address of that content that it's generating is wrong. But uploading the images, where is it? Process and upload image async. And it's going to return image info. Let's look at this. Get file name, image path. Container name is... okay, create the blob. Load async. Image ID original. So there's the original at the full size. And you're not going to let me zoom that, but all right. Yep, there's the test graph that it created. But it's trying to go to content images / where's it getting that hash? That doesn't make sense to me. That image ID. Where's that? Generate image ID. Creating a SHA of that. Hey there, Frank! Hello!
Chero's just resubscribed for 43 months.
43
How's
months?
Charlie is going.
Charlie went well. I'll show you the cool new feature that we did here in just a moment. Let me walk through this. So so this has the, where'd it go? So image ID and the container name is, so it's going to the image ID original and then path get extension file. Okay. Yeah, original.jpg, PNG, whatever. Upload that image and then it's going to generate smaller thumbnails and whatnot. It's going to resize and do those uploads as well. There's the for each, and then it's going to return the image info. Image info has a file name, image ID, blob path, public URL. Okay. So it's going to bring that back, and we should get processed image for that image file name. And we did. And then it has to... Yeah. Okay, so for each markdown file, look for the image upload result. Okay. Get the markdown file directory, images directory. Calculate the relative path from markdown to image. No, that's not right. Pre-roll ads are disabled for those of you on Twitch. Ads are on for the next 2 minutes. We'll stick around and let that come back after it. Yeah, there we go. So let me wrap this up. This is not calculating right. Why is it? So for the image that came back, get the markdown directory. No. No. I'm going to replace the image. Where's local image path? Okay. And it should replace with images / image ID / original. That's... No. There's... I need to do some unwinding of this. So if I look at the content that it uploaded, here it is. And there's the images right there. And it has all the information on it. Content hash, content. Let's actually look at the content. Oh, so that is... That is right. So it... Is it reformatting that as it transforms and outputs? So let's look at how the content is being formatted. We should be back from ads. Not service defaults, web, services, content service. Look at that pipeline. Look at that pipeline. And let's also bring up the image service. Categories, tags, related tips. Where is it? Refresh content. Get the tips from Azure. Get the tips from Cache. Metadata values. Parse tags. Yeah, parse date. Image URL rewriter extension. Yeah. This is the one that isn't doing it right. Okay. Only process your relative URLs. Extract the image ID. Extract the file name. Yeah, this isn't putting the address back together properly. I'm going to need to do some work on this. And I actually need to stop because I have some other things I need to get to. But, this was entirely vibe coded originally, so I know where I need to go in and fix things here. But I do need to pause. So let me end the music. And let me head over. There was a question I wanted to get to in chat. Yes, I'll be giving an amazing presentation tonight. We're going to be talking about Playwright with .NET Aspire. So that's coming up tonight. I see another question here from Sunny on YouTube. Can I make a tutorial for how we can make a terminal AI coding agent which is more fast, advanced, and powerful than the coding agents? So let me get this right, Sunny. You want me to teach you how to build a coding agent that's faster than the coding agents that are built by the PhDs and high-powered big math AI professors that are building and working on and delivering the ones that are being sold out there. Do I have that right? You're going to want to get a degree before you can do that. You're going to want to get a degree because that's not something that I can teach you. That's right. That's like saying, hey, can you teach me how to build a database? There's a lot of theory to understanding how a database is built and works that you need to know before we can actually start writing that. So, pass. Sorry. Thank you so much for joining me. I've got, like I said, I've got a handful of other videos and things that I need to create and meetings this afternoon, and I have to get ready for tonight's presentation I'll be giving with the Tulsa.net user group. You saw the link from Code with Sean right there. Join us. I'll be talking about Playwright with .NET Aspire. We're going to go through and learn all about how to test your applications, how to use Playwright, and then how to stitch together these couple of features here, because it's really going to help you as you're building and working with evolving web applications in the future. All right? If you're watching on YouTube, I've got lots of great videos for you over here, down here somewhere, and you can check those out. If you're watching on Twitch, it's time for a raid. Let me see who I can set you up with a raid for to go connect with and hopefully learn something more. Let me go raid you over to Anna Sass Dev, who's building a writer's web platform. Anna Sass Dev. There we go. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back on Thursday. We'll be doing some more coding. We'll be doing some more work here. Hopefully we'll be back on SharpSite. And Charlie will be running with some more features that I roll out over the next few days. All right? Have a fantastic day wherever you might be. I wish you good health and good coding. Take care.